This episode is brought to you by Bubbles and Scrubs SG. They're a homegrown brand, handcrafting bath, body, and aromatherapy creations. Founded by a fellow mom like me, her creations are made using natural, gentle ingredients and pure essential oils. Hence, they are friendly for kids and people with sensitive skin. No alcohol, artificial fragrances, and parabens on it. Win their best-selling products such as the Starry Night Bath Bomb, Sleep Tight Aromatherapy Pillow Mist, Lavender Bliss Botanical Roll-On, and Pink Grapefruit Body Scrub by registering on the link which can be seen on the description below. Join now! Okay, so welcome everyone to the second episode of Women's Self-Care Series Season 2. Okay, we're so honored to have in our show this special guest all the way from Japan. She takes pride on conscious living and ethical AI. She's the founder of InSilence, a media publishing and conversational AI platform that marries spirituality and technology to help people live consciously. They provide tools and resources to help people build a holistic wellness practice and upgrade their professional skills through an integrated approach to yoga, meditation, high vibration, food, and conscious consumption of technology. She has built AI assistants and taught yoga and meditation in the previous years and speak about both at global events. She recently spoke at a TEDx event by Heal the World Japan. She's also the creator of the Jaimala shop where you can get products that helps you to build a strong mind and body, create a physical sacred space, and personal home practice for a calm, centered, and balanced life. Let's all welcome the amazing Jean. Hello,
Thank
Jean.
you. Thank you, Janine. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you. That was a mouthful. Thank you for going through that.
Yeah, but then I'm so happy that you said yes to be
Such
here
an honor.
today. Yeah.
It's such an honor to be
It's such an honor for this show, actually. Okay, so
here.
let's start for our audience also to get to know you more. So, could you tell us more about yourself and how you've gotten into consciously living and starting in silence?
Sure. I'm a mother of a 13-year-old and previously 7 animals before we moved to Japan. And I'm a wife. Among some of the roles that I play in life, I've been a corporate leader for global companies and startup companies that's usually based in California for 16 years.
Ooh.
Um, and through my journey, through both of my professional and personal journey, I kind of lived a separate life of, being in the technological space and also trying to learn more about the spiritual essence of life. And and for a long time I was living, it felt like I was living two separate lives
Mhm.
until I found that intersection where I could actually merge the both of them, the technological aspect of my living and my um, the spiritual facet of my journey. That's why I built In Silence, because I think that if people could learn how to mindfully use technology and start building a relationship with their spiritual self, I
Mhm.
think all of our lives can be way better, no matter what life brings us. And so that's why I'm building In Silence right now.
That's very nice because nowadays I mean, no one can say that I don't need technology, right? I mean,
Hmm.
it's the now. So
Yes.
we cannot erase that. So we need to live with
Hmm.
that. But at the same time, we know how important the other side, the past, the spiritual, the how the spirituality is and helpful nowadays if you apply it. So it's very nice, and I find it I mean very I myself is very interested in what you're doing, because it's a new thing. I mean most yeah, because I mean most especially now it's like always the separate, it's either you go to technology or you go to the,
Yes.
you know, this
Yoga.
yeah, yeah, wherein you just silently do things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now this one is a very different thing, and I'm sure our audience would also be interested in knowing more about it and hopefully be joining. Yeah. Okay. So going on to our next question. How does conscious living affect your self-care? Because this one is a women's self-care series, so let's
Yes,
start
yes,
that.
yes.
Okay.
Self-care is one of the biggest advocacies of In Silence. It's one of the things that we hope to impart to not just women, but mostly women. That is an essential thing to do.
Mhm.
It's not a luxury. It should not be treated as a luxury, as an indulgence. And
Mhm.
so I hear you, and that's also one of the reasons why I said yes to being here with you, because I think that us women should help each other spread the word about taking care of ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
And right, and conscious living, I didn't embrace the concept of conscious living for a long time. I was vegan first. I completely changed my nutritional sources into vegan.
Mhm.
And then after that, I went into yoga, and then yoga, meditation. And then after meditation, that's when I got into whole food plant based. So meaning I don't just eat vegan food. I also try to source organic and
Mhm.
not very processed food. But we're not 100% whole food plant based or organic, because it's just hard to get the supplies no matter where you are in the world. Um, but I got into conscious living because again of the separation feeling. You know, for a long time it felt like when I was at work, I was this technology leader. I was this manager, whatever title I had. I was this person helping a technology company living one life that I love, but
Yes.
outside where I could not practice my yoga, my meditation. I hardly talk about veganism. But once I get out of work, people come to me and I talk about yoga, spirituality, veganism. So it baffled me that I was living two separate lives, it felt like. So I kept doing my research, and then I realized that, you know, it's actually meditation that helped me remember. I want to call it remember, because we all know it. We all know in our souls that um, there is a certain way of living that can help us really, you know, upgrade our lives and get us to where we really need to be, whatever that is, because that's unique for each of us, right? You
Yes,
know, no one can say go vegan to someone if that's not meant for that other person.
Mhm.
So how did I didn't know that there's a concept or a revolution or a movement on conscious living. I just kind of thought about maybe I could should just start living consciously, because the word conscious was
Mhm.
always used in all of my meditation retreats. You know, the best meditation school that I went to is called Vipassana Meditation.
Okay.
Vipassana. um, that's where I went to Sri Lanka. I spent 11 days in a remote area in utter silence. We were not allowed to write or read or listen to music or perform our yoga spiritual practices.
Okay.
Um, no nothing, no eye contact with other people in the monastery. We could only interact with ourselves and with nature and with the animals. And there were wild animals there. There were There was a family of snakes. There was a peacock. There were squirrels. It was one of the best experiences of my life. So that's where I remembered that there is a consciousness in me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more than this body, and I'm more than all the titles and all of the material things that I've experienced. But everything is beautiful, but I'm way more than that. And so I thought I wanna start being more conscious about my life, my decisions, so
Mm-hmm.
that everything that I say and do hopefully will be holistic, meaning if I eat something, I know how it will impact the people around me, the environment, the source of my food, and my body, and not just I'm gonna have a frappuccino right now just because I have a craving for it. You know, so that's from the Vipassana meditation. That's when I remembered, okay, I can live consciously, and then having been a coach and a trainer and a leader for leaders. I've trained so many people in my life. A lot of people continue to come to me when they saw my transformation, because I used to be gothic. I used to be I used to play in a band. I used to do so many yeah, I used to do so many fun things,
Uh-huh.
which changed when I got into meditation and conscious living. So when they saw how when they saw my life,
Yeah.
they started to ask me about it, and so I realized, okay, I'm just one person. I really want to help so many people, but I
Uh-huh.
can't do that. So I said, let me build something. Let me build a platform maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and that will have an artificially intelligent virtual assistant that can help more people simultaneously. So that's why I'm building In Silence now, together with two other women, and hopefully we get to launch the product really soon.
Very interesting. And I'm sure a lot of our audience are looking forward to having the gist of it also, not only me. The meditation,
Hopefully.
the one, the yoga retreat, is it that you went to Sri Lanka? Well,
Vipassana.
yeah, well, you're talking about it, it's giving me goosebumps actually.
It's a beautiful experience.
Yay. Okay. Just to add to that, because some people might think that you you instantly become this person. Could you share with us how long was your journey? Because it's a journey, right?
Sure.
And how long
Yes.
is it? It's not
I
I want to
love
be conscious living next week. So that's it. I'll be a vegan next week. I'll buy all this produce. It's not how it's done, right? It's a
at
process.
least not for me. At
Oh.
least not for me. I can't tell for other people.
Mm-hmm.
I always honor that each person's journey is unique.
Mm-hmm.
In my experience, until now, I'm still in that journey. But my transition from being omnivore to a vegan, it was 1 year. It was 1 year of research.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to do your research so that you can really have a strong footing at
Mm-hmm.
the transition, because otherwise you're gonna go back to whatever it was. Because
Yes.
you're gonna miss the things that you grew up with. And for
Yeah.
me, right, the hardest
Yes, I'm
part for me was
Filipino.
exactly right. The food is so
We're meat
delicious.
lovers.
Well, I wasn't really a meat lover,
How
but
is
the
it?
hardest part for me was seafood and cheese and
Oh.
cake. Those are the most difficult things to drop. So I
Uh-huh.
did my research first, and because I was already a mother, I was already married, and we had a child. I wanted to influence them, hopefully. I didn't want to force it. So I did my research first. So 1 year of researching and networking, trying to find other vegans in the
Mhm.
Philippines. At that time was hard because there was no community yet. That was 11 years ago.
Okay.
So
Now it's
yeah,
just
but
you. type in
But
Facebook
now it's
vegan and then there it is.
exact. Yeah, and there's a big community already in the Philippines.
Yeah.
There's a big vegan community. So veganism was 1 year of transition, and then yoga was. I've been practicing yoga 11 years now, and then
Mm,
I became a yoga teacher in 2018. I got certified.
mm,
So the yoga journey was long, and in fact, I kind of keep upgrading because first it was yoga, it was the physical asanas where you do headstands and all that, and then meditation, and now I'm deeply immersed in the more deeper studies of ancient philosophies, and so it's more than the physical practice now. And then whole food plant based, 3 years ago was when we started doing that, eating more organic. And
mm,
even now we're trying to grow our food indoors just because it's just really healthier. So yes, it's a journey. It's never ending. It's
mm.
never ending journey.
That's nice. So does it mean that I mean, you said you tried to influence uh your family,
Family.
right? So now all
Mhm.
of you are vegan.
Yeah, so I was the first vegan in the family, and then 1 year after, my husband joined because he saw how I became not just healthier but also kinder.
Oh,
I became
I can
kinder.
try that.
Yeah, and I
Myself
say
first.
that because and I say kinder because I learned how everything is energy, and so everything that you put in your body has energy in it, has consciousness in it, and so whatever those things, or whatever your food went through, the energy that comes that it has will get into your body. So it's just kinder to eat more plants and fruits and grains. um but yeah, and then when he joined, we agreed that we were going to raise our daughter as a vegan.
Mm.
And my mom also followed, and our helper, who's also a family member already because she's been with us for as long as we had our daughter.
Oh,
We
okay.
all we all went vegan.
Wow. That
Yeah.
is very it's very big. I mean,
Yeah, because we hardly get sick. We
oh,
hardly get sick when we turn vegan. There were a lot of financial savings from eating more plant-based, and
mm,
even more when we turned whole food plant-based, when we started
oh,
eating more organic.
is it? Really thinking about that. Let's see. Okay. We will see about that. Okay, going on to our next question. Do you have any self-care routines and how does your typical day looks like?
Oh my goodness, I have a lot. I have a lot. But I would say my focus is on my internal body and my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So first few things I do in the morning is I hug a loved one, whether it's my husband or my mom when we were in the Philippines, or my daughter or the dog. um, and then right before I leave bed, I say my affirmations in my mind already. I saw on your Instagram that you do affirmations, so that's so powerful, right? So I
Yes.
recite that first in my mind, even before I leave the bed. When I leave the bed, I prepare a concoction of drinks. So we do a saline water cleanse every morning. So that's a tiny bit of warm water with Himalayan salt and citrus lime, a few drops.
Uh-huh.
That's just to wake up the digestive tract, and so as not to shock it. You want to kind of warm it up before you feed it,
Okay.
and also to help flush the toxins that were built while you were asleep. Because whenever we are asleep, the body is working so hard to take care of us. So you want to help it cleanse the toxins that it pushed out of the body. Um, and then I do a little bit of stretch. I meditate a little. I do a little bit more of affirmations. I also dream journal. I journal my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I check my to-dos for the day if there's anything. But on weekends, I don't have to-do lists. Totally free. That's our days for flow. We call it flow. We don't want to put anything on the calendar. We just want to follow what our mind, our heart, our soul is trying to tell us. And then I'm usually doing intermittent fasting, meaning I don't eat for 12 to 16 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So dinner the previous night, whatever that time is, usually 7 p.m., 6 p.m. My next meal would be 12 to 16 hours after. So, but I can drink tea, and usually I drink lemon ginger warm water after the saline water. And then if I get hungry, I'll do a smoothie.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then throughout the day, just making sure that I have moments of silence,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I want to be conscious and thoughtful about my decisions and my words. So if I need to decide on something, I don't jump on it right away. I try to just even just 2 minutes of silence. It's very helpful in clarifying the mind and helping give better decisions in life.
Makes point. Makes a point. I can fully relate to that,
Understand? Oh,
especially
yeah.
now that my daughters are 6 and 7. I
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
so they are in the
Precious
age
ages.
of trying to show their personality and all. So I'm getting a
Yes.
lot of those eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you know what I mean about that.
Yes, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. So, you talk about having that silence, right? As a woman, we generally talk a lot. How important is it to have some silence, and how does it help one's life?
Oh my goodness. I love that topic. Thank you so much for asking that because we rarely get to think about even trying to be silent.
Yes.
Right? So, silence doesn't mean going into meditative pose all the time. Silence could mean just truly listening when you're talking to someone instead of, because usually as human beings we tend to have a ready answer already that's brewing here when we're talking to someone, right?
Yes, yes.
We try to jump into conclusions, or we're just ready, we're defensive sometimes, we're trying to compete, or there's just so many things that
Mm-hmm.
that our human minds are trying to do. And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that because the job of the mind is to protect us.
Mm-hmm.
It's to protect us. But if we don't get a hold of it, if we allow the ego, the mind, whatever you want to call it, if we allow that to control us,
Mm-hmm.
then that's where conflicts arise. That's where hurtful words are said,
Yeah.
and just actions that you might regret later on will come up. So just moments of silence really allows you to first of all take a deep breath. One of the things that I love that silence brings is it really helps calm the nervous system. So, and I speak about this because apart from being trained to be a yoga teacher, I also am certified on trauma informed yoga teaching. So, what
Mm-hmm.
that means is, you know, I can help. I can help people deal with traumatic events at a certain point. Um, but the most important learning that I got from that school was how important our nervous system is in order for us to operate as a human body, as a human being. I say that because most of the time, as human beings, we're always on the go, we're always rushing. And
Yeah.
even when we're in bed, we're still busy here. And because of all of those things, our nervous system is always working on the clock, round the clock, even if we're lying on bed or sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
So when you give yourself many, many moments of silence, the more you can have it, the better it is for your health. So whenever you give yourself moments of silence, you calm the nerves. And when your nervous system is calm and relaxed, the rest of your body is able to do its job. Therefore, illnesses and diseases won't accumulate. You will have more vitality. You're not just healthy, you also have more vitality. And that's why it's so important to me. And that's why it's so important for me to share that experience and learning to as many people as possible. Because we forget about everything else. We just know to wake up, go to work, go do our chores,
Like a
take
robot.
care of other people, except but we don't take care of ourselves. And we take care of our hunger, but
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We have other parts from the head to the foot, so we have to take care of everything.
Yes, exactly. Hey, so that one is very meaningful, and if you think about it, we every time. I mean, it's like we put ourselves into trouble. I mean, I am not sure if that's the term of it, because as you've said, all you need is silence. I mean, even in like sickness, you can eliminate that if you only do this to yourself, and you don't even need to spend anything. You have yourself. So
Yes,
what
ex-
are you waiting for? What are you looking
exactly.
for? What it's just the
Exactly.
realization of thinking that you have this in yourself already. So use
Yes.
it and do not find any other solution because you don't need that. You
Yes, you
I
got
hope
it.
you're right. I hope so. Okay. So, going on to our next question. It's funny how you are combining spirituality, science, and technology when others preach to avoid technology such as social media to attain inner peace. Any thoughts on it?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that.
Okay,
um,
share it.
so technology has been a major part of my career because the companies and the people who entrusted me with fantastic roles and help my family and me um, we're all technological companies. And I learned as a human being, as a woman, I felt empowered as
Mhm,
I went through that journey of having a career in the tech space, especially after I joined an AI company. So
mhm,
I joined an AI company 4 years ago, major career growth. My life just turned around really big, and this is coming from a no coding background. I didn't have a coding background. I didn't study computer science and stuff like that. So
mhm.
when I learned the ins and outs of AI and more, I learned more about data science also and machine learning and a few other things. It opened up an even bigger world with even bigger possibilities, and I met a lot of even more amazing human beings. And so I think through my technological journey, I kind of theorized that the way that majority of humans are using technology is wrong. And I say this because I came from that. I came from just scrolling or just watching. There's nothing wrong with all those things. I think what's wrong is the amount of time we put into just scrolling mindlessly
Mhm.
or spending so much time in negativity. There's so much negativity in social media. And
Yes.
also not knowing what other technology is out there. Because majority of people think that technology is social media and that's it.
Yes.
There's a gazillion beautiful technological innovations that's out there, and AI is one of the closest to my heart because of all the possibilities it can bring to helping people. And so what we're trying to do with in silence is to spread the word and provide tools and resources and show people how AI, data science, machine learning, and how we can better use technology. It's not just social media. And in fact, the more time you spend outside of social media, the better, because you can educate yourself through technology. You can meet your next mentor through technology. You
Mhm.
can upgrade your skills through technology. And therefore, you can earn better. You can, there's so much. So,
Hmm.
social media is beautiful, but
Yeah.
we shouldn't spend every single day, you know, 5 hours, 8 hours on it, you know? So, there's much more better things to do with technology that's outside of social media. So through conscious living, if
Mhm.
you get to practice living consciously, you get to pause and think about, okay, will this will this scrolling give me value in my life? No. Okay, I'll move on. What's the next thing I could do that will increase my life quality?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so connecting your answers to that, our next question is, how can one avoid all the negativity that technology entails, especially social media, and use it as a positive investment for themselves?
So I have a different relationship with the word avoid now. I learned through meditation that the key to inner peace, at least in my experience, there's so many things you cannot avoid in life. You cannot avoid viruses. You cannot avoid negativity. You cannot see viruses, first of all. How can you avoid? Right?
Yes.
Right? Um, there's so many things that bring negativity in one's life that you cannot avoid because it's intangible. You cannot see it coming.
Mhm.
Someone who's having a bad day, you will not know that right away until you spend a few minutes with them, but then you're feeling all the agitation already. So what I always encourage people to do through meditation
Mhm.
is learn to just observe and not attach. What do I mean by that? And it's a very hard concept to grasp. Even I find it hard, even after practicing meditation for a long time. What do I mean by that? So, for example, I see a homeless man on the streets, and I use this example because I have a soft spot for homeless people.
Uh-huh.
I see a homeless man in the street, and normally my heart will break. I might even cry. But through the practice of meditation and silence, I learned to observe and honor him as a person
Mhm.
and go on with my life. Maybe help give him a drink or maybe talk to him, but not so much. And I could still love him, I could still care for him
Mhm.
and make him feel that he is seen and heard
Yeah.
without making me suffer.
Mhm.
Because we cannot help everybody,
Uh-huh. Yes.
but we can take care of ourselves so that hopefully our very own life could inspire others or could become a bridge to help others.
Yes.
you know so I won't say avoid the negativity. I would say educate yourself to what's truly happening
Mm-hmm.
and really make sure that your sources are are truthful.
Yeah.
It's so timely now, right? I was just talking to my mom today. I'm like, Mom, is this true? Because I saw in the news. And so before believing something or someone, no matter how popular someone might be, or
Yeah.
how much of an expert someone might be, or
Mm-hmm.
a company might be.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe it right away. Ask the questions in your mind and then educate yourself what truly is happening before before you suffer and be
It,
scared and do whatever.
yes. The first impression when you get news, especially if it's someone who is known, is fear.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
should be putting that to yourself and getting yourself stressed immediately just
Yeah.
because of getting that
Piece
one
of
thought. Yeah,
article.
yeah.
Yeah, or
Of
social media post.
negativity. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting on, how helpful is it to have people who surround you with the same lifestyle?
I think it's very important, but
Mhm.
it's not like the end all be all of it. So, for example, conscious living, it's a new concept in the Philippines.
Mhm.
Other countries have that kind of community already, but it's still a new concept, and so a lot of people who hear about what I'm trying to do at In Silence is either very intrigued by it or turned off by it.
Oh.
It's very rare to find people who get curious and talk more about it or join us or do whatever to learn more. So it's either I don't like it because she's talking about technology or some people would say I don't like it because she's speaking about spirituality. I just want technology. Others would be just completely I don't want it. That's so woo woo or that's so I don't know what she's talking about. So it's important to have like-minded people support you in your journey to kind of give you the push when you need it. You
Yes.
don't really need it all the time, but it's such a beautiful, it's an even more beautiful journey when you know that there are others who are walking with you and
Mhm.
who are, just who understand you. You don't need to explain anymore. And
Yes.
I am so right, and I'm so grateful to have found such a good community who join us at In Silence, my co-founders, and obviously my family and friends and mentors. Um, it's not good to always have that, or it's I won't no I would say it's not good to always rely on that
Mhm.
reinforcement
Yes.
because then you would become very
Relax.
kind of reliant on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that having being able to operate from a centered place,
Yeah.
from a place of groundedness and centeredness
Mhm.
is great. Without you don't want to suffer so much when someone declines you or rejects you, but you don't also want to celebrate too much that you become arrogant when someone says that's such a good idea what you're doing at In Silence, Gene. So you want to see what's happening, be thankful for everything, and then move on with
Mhm.
what you're doing.
Very nice. Yeah. Okay. It's a new year. Any tips for our audience who would want to start consciously living this year? Journey. So just a tip on how to start.
Yeah. Um. So I would say the same thing that I say to people who ask how they can start going vegan or going into yoga or meditation. I would say ask yourself questions first before even doing anything. Because I think the most important thing to have whenever we start anything new is to understand why you're doing it. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have your why, if you don't have the main purpose and reason, then you're easily gonna hate it. You're instantly gonna get off track and go back to your old ways
Mm-hmm.
and just suffer. Just suffer through the change.
Won't enjoy it. You won't enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you will feel like a fraud. There's so many things. There's so many things that could block you. So I would recommend that you ask yourself, you pause and you review your life
Mm-hmm.
or whatever aspect of your life it is that you're trying to change. So conscious living, ask yourself why are you even curious about it? What is it about your life that you want to change? Because obviously you want to try something new because there's something you want to change. So
Mm-hmm.
assess yourself, really write it down. For me it helps to write things down.
Uh-huh.
And in fact I authored an intention setting guide. It's on our website. It's free for anyone who wants. Just download it, sign up on the website. So write it down, ask yourself why you want the change, whether it's going vegan, starting yoga, going into technology,
Mhm.
and then ask yourself why, and then write also the goals. What do you want to get out of it? And then you do your research also, so
Mhm.
that even before you start, you can kind of gauge how much of your energy you can put into it and how much commitment you can put into it. Um, and then commit to it, and then
Mhm.
once you commit to it, don't be too hard on yourself. Allow for some wiggle room, because it's the goal is not perfection. The goal
Mhm.
is always to practice. So conscious living, right? If let's say, I don't know, you ate at a fast food today, which is
Mhm.
not consciously living. You ate at a fast food today. Don't fret. Be thankful you had that blessing. You got to eat that wonderful food, and then move on. Try again the
Uh-huh.
next meal, next day. The
Yes.
the key the key word is practice.
As mentioned, this episode is sponsored by Bubbles and Scrubs SG. Follow them on IG to find out more about their behind the scenes. They'll also have an upcoming bath bomb crafting workshop at Gardens by the Bay on the 26th of February, Saturday, with more coming soon during March school holidays. See you there! Very nice. I am trying to relate it with what my motherhood is. And the only thing that I can think of now is when my daughters are building Legos, I always tell them the foundation should be very stable because
Yes.
otherwise you won't make it that tall, whatever how tall do you want it, how big it is that you want it to build, if your foundation is very weak. So here in if you want to transition to doing anything for the better, know your
Mm-hmm.
whys, those are your foundations. Know yourself,
Yeah.
ask yourselves all those that you said earlier, that would be your foundation. That's
Yes. You got
yes,
it.
yes, I'm
I
so proud of
love it.
myself now.
Yeah, you should. You're doing so well with mommy with a goal.
Thank you so much. Okay, I forgot to tell you about this, but can we have a short game? Just a
Yeah.
fun game. It's called, I
Okay.
just made this up while waiting for you. It's called
Okay.
Rate Self-Care.
Okay.
Okay, so one would be the least, and then 10 would be the most recommended. It's just random
Okay.
self-care. So just
Okay.
one if it's you don't recommend it at all, and 10 if you most recommend it. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
First, warm bath.
Warm bath?
Yes, warm baths. You know,
20.
20.
20. With
Okay.
essential oils and flower petals.
Okay. Hot tea.
100.
Okay.
I
Okay.
drink it every day.
I'm not sure what your answer would be with this one. Binge watch at Netflix.
Once a week.
Oh, once a
So
week.
10. I would say 10, yeah, because it's fun. You need
Okay.
fun.
Oh, painting and coloring. Painting or
Oh,
coloring.
1,000. 1,000.
Thousand. Such a
Because it's art. Because
yeah,
it's art you're creating. You need to create a lot.
and it gives you peace of mind, right? You just do
Yes.
whatever. Okay, brisk walk.
Uh,
Like
9.
walking out, just
Walk every day. Yeah, that's part of my self care.
okay.
Yeah. 9.
It is okay. Support groups are reaching out.
9. But just please be careful with the support group you choose, because there's a lot of negativities there. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, 9. That's so helpful to have a support group.
As long as you reach the correct support group.
Yes. Yes.
Reading.
1,000,000.
We love books.
1,000,000. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to educate you. You don't even need to. I'm talking to people who feel like they're limited. You don't need a certificate. You don't need to be rich. Read as much as you can, whatever you get your hands on, newspaper, whatever it is, read. That's why I said 1 million. Because you can change your life. You can change
Mm,
your life through reading.
exactly. Okay, meditation. Should I ask this?
10 million? 1 billion?
Okay, steady breathing. You know those
Steady
breathing,
breathing.
those breathing exercises.
I forgot to share with you that part of my self-care routine is breathing exercises every morning, and it's a different phase all the time. So I
Mm-hmm.
would say steady breathing. I would say 5, and I say that because it's unique for every person,
Mm-hmm.
and so I would say natural breathing um, would be highly recommended. That's why I'm giving steady breathing a 5.
Okay, so just have pause and just do your inhale and exhale would be is it?
Well, it depends. No, it depends. It depends what you're feeling. So if you're feeling depressed right now, there's a specific kind of breathing that helps.
Mm,
Um, when you're depressed, faster breathing helps, I believe. And then when you're feeling anxious, slower breathing. And then when you need to cleanse your lungs, it's a different kind of breathing. So it really depends on what you need. So first we need to educate ourselves on those kinds of breathing exercises so that we can help ourselves whenever we need.
I'm speechless because
Why?
no, apparently the only breathing exercise I know is the one that you can use with your children, when they are that naughty. And then you just need to go to the other room and
Oh, deep breathing. Yeah, that's so
yeah,
helpful.
and then
Yeah, I know what
okay.
you mean.
So that you won't
The
throw a mouthful of, all those things that you don't want them to hear, that would be eliminated as long as you just do your
yeah,
a minute of breathing on the other room, then
alone
come
time.
back and then
Yeah.
you're all yourself again.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, I feel you. You need more, not just 1 minute.
Okay. Next, I think it's good that I include this one. Phone brain games. You know,
Phone brain games?
all a lot of people are getting. I'm not sure if it's the
Yeah.
right term to use. Getting
Memory games, things
addicted
like
to
that.
all those games on the phone. So others would say that it's for my memory and I'm learning from it. So what's your take on that?
I would say two. I
Mm-hmm.
would say two because there's so many. The thing about technological gadgets, it's a beautiful thing to have, but the more you spend on them,
Mm-hmm.
the more you spend on electronics, the more time you spend on electronics, the more radiation and electromagnetic wave is emitted and put
Mm-hmm.
into your body. So use it use it to a minimum. So if you want to build your memory or whatever it is, there's so many non-electronic related activities you can do, like reading a real book or meditating or having a conversation like this,
Mm-hmm.
or there's so many things. Exercising.
Okay, dancing.
Oh, 1000. That's
Oh,
part of my self-care. Yeah,
how is
1000.
it? Mine, no. I have two like it.
Oh yeah, that's enough.
I'll just make fun of myself. Okay, stretching.
Oh, 1000.
Okay.
1000. Yeah.
Cuddle with pets or human. Hugging.
1000.
Okay. Listening to music.
Depends on the music. So,
Soothing music.
just like in social media, right? If you listen to negativity, because there's great music that has negative words.
Oh, yeah.
So, depends. So,
Mm-hmm.
I would say 10 if it really nourishes the soul,
Mm-hmm.
but 0 if it's all anger or sadness
Mm-hmm.
or, those negative emotions.
Okay. Taking a nap.
Ah, 10. If it's a real nap, not
Mm-hmm.
a 1 hour nap. Because if you take long naps, that disrupts your sleep for the night, which is bad for the health.
Oh,
So a quick nap is good. If you need it, go take it. I think 25 minutes or 30 minutes is
mhm.
like the maximum for a nap. I'm not so sure, but it shouldn't be more than 1 hour, I think.
I think so too. If it's an hour, that's sleep already for me.
Let's sleep already. Wake up
Okay.
tomorrow.
Yes. Okay, going outside.
Oh, 10.
Mm.
Every single day. Yeah, get natural sunlight.
Yes, that's very a
Right?
need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's actually during, unfortunately, because of COVID. I mean, we cannot always go outside as much as we want, right? But it's funny because since this COVID period that me and my family get to learn that Singapore isn't just a city of, all those tourism wherein you go to malls. That's what Singapore is most known, right? But
Yeah.
then apparently Singapore also is a garden city. And
I
ah,
know.
I'm in
Yeah.
awe of their reservoirs and all these nature
Yeah.
parks that we go to. It's like, are we really in Singapore? I think
Yeah.
this one, I haven't been to any of this kind of nature in the Philippines. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so now we enjoy going out and exploring the wilds here. We're
Yeah.
used
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
seeing monkeys now. Yeah,
Yeah.
we also
Singapore is beautiful.
yeah,
We love
that's
Singapore.
a plus side for us, because that this season gave, let's say it's
Yeah.
season so that it will shoo away.
Fast. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love it. I love the way you think. Yeah.
Okay. And then last. Okay, treat yourself. I
Oh,
mean,
10.
treat if you crave for something, treat
Give
yourself
yourself a treat.
nicely, treat yourself
Yeah.
with positivity and all.
Yeah, you just have to be thoughtful about it. Because,
Mm-hmm.
like in my case, I love sweets. So if I give myself that treat every single day, every meal, that's gonna be bad for me.
Uh-huh.
But you should treat yourself for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of self care. That's part of having a balanced, centered, grounded, conscious life.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're meant to enjoy life. You're not supposed to be prohibited.
Yes,
But have a
exactly.
balanced approach, right?
Yes, because sometimes people think that those people who, you know, they like, let's say, conscious living, they are so conscious enough not to
Um,
enjoy themselves, which is not.
no. Yeah, that's a different thing. Yeah. That's another thing that we want to spread at In Silence. It's not perfection. It's not restricting yourself. That's why we say a lot about research. Do your research. Because if you
Mhm,
understand the importance of sleep, for example,
mhm,
then you won't force yourself to sleep before 10 and wake up at 6 because you fully understand what it's for. Then it becomes a conscious decision and
mhm,
not, it doesn't feel anymore like, oh, I feel bad because I want to watch Netflix until 4 a.m. So, everything becomes conscious. You know now that you have Netflix. Like in our case, we have Netflix time every Friday and Saturday
mhm,
evening up to a
mhm,
certain time. But the
mhm.
rest of the evenings, we sleep before 10.
Oh.
So it doesn't feel restrictive anymore because you know that we need to sleep earlier during the weekdays because there's school and work tomorrow. It becomes a conscious, fun thing.
Yes, exactly. So that's
Yeah.
how life should be lived on.
Yeah, we should enjoy.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so to end this, before we end this interview, would you like
Conversation.
to invite our audience with anything that In Silence is offering and all?
Yes, thank you. We currently have a free intention setting guide. It's a PDF that you can access from your computer, or you can download it if you want and print it out. It's on our website, beinsilence.com. Just sign up with your email and you can get it in your email. And then we're always on Clubhouse every Wednesday. So for those who are on Clubhouse, join us so you can join our conscious conversations, just talking about conscious living,
Mhm.
how what it is, and just meeting people. And then we also started doing weekly IG lives every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it changes. And then we have a lot of things happening this year. So just either subscribe to our newsletter at beinsilence.com or
Mhm.
follow us on Instagram at
Mhm.
ComeBeInSilence
Mhm.
or follow us on Facebook. We have a page called In Silence and we have a group called Conscious Living Global.
Oh,
So
okay.
Conscious Living Global is more there's more content shared there, and there's other people that you can meet who's curious or already living the conscious life. So hopefully we can see all of you there.
Yes, I think I'll join later after this call.
Thank you.
Okay. So with that, thank you so much for your
Thank you, Janine. I
such a
had
lovely
such a blast.
conversation. And that's a lot. Most of the time while you're speaking, I'm like, yeah,
I
not,
I am
not
honored.
too much information. It's just that it's such an eye opener. It's an eye opener
Nice.
for me, yes. And it's
Oh, I'm
nice
glad.
that I love that's one thing I love about Mommy with a Goal and self care, because most people think that self care is just like going to the spa and treating yourself like that. But then
Mhm.
I myself, who is trying to share this advocacy, is learning a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, there's lots of
Yes.
fields of it, and I'm like, push to this and push to that. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great, great learning experience. I am loving it.
Yay. I'm so happy and I feel so proud being a Filipina, just knowing about your work and congratulations on Mommy with a Goal. It's a lot of work that you're doing. Add that to our motherhood and being a
Yes.
wife, being so many other things. So, I'm just so happy to be here and super fun. So, so, so lovely.
Okay. So I won't take much of your day, your afternoon. I hope you have a great evening, and thank you so much.
Thank you. You
Thank you.
too. See you soon. Thank you, Janine. Thank you. Bye.